So T.I. gets into it with his son, King Harris. And this entire Harris family, T.I. and his family, has been in the news for all the wrong reasons lately, right? I remember they first came across their timeline because King Harris went and got some new teeth. The teeth look absolutely ridiculous. He looks like a horse. And he went and showed them off, and his pops was kind of clowning them while they were doing this interview. And it seemed like at the time, King Harris did take it on the chin, and he joked back or whatever. But then we have this situation here where T.I. and his son show up at a game. They go to a football game, I believe, and they end up getting to it. T.I. and his son end up getting into it at the game. And from my understanding, what people were saying is that T.I. addressed his son in the manner in which he addressed him because King was talking to Tiny, his mother, in some type of disrespectful manner. And what I want to show is that, one, I want to show you how this is a product of you not taking care of your children the way you should, right? Two, not living up to the image that you have been portraying over the years, right? And then three, what happens when you allow terrible attitudes, unruly behavior, and entitlement to go unchecked within your children. Because let's be clear, this is a family who was on TV. I know y'all remember the TV show. And on that TV show, a lot of people were looking at King Harris, and they were saying, well, he's a little unruly. He's terrible. He's bad on the show. He has a bad attitude on the show. How is he in real life? And so he goes on to Funny Marco's show, does an interview with Funny Marco. I'm talking about King Harris now, the son. King goes on to Funny Marco's show, and he tells him, look, the show that y'all saw me on as a little kid was deceiving. It was all lies. It was all BS. I wasn't really living with my parents. I was living with my grandma. We don't know the reason. We don't know the reason. But he tells them, he reveals to the world, listen, what y'all saw was just for the cameras. Because right after them cameras shut off, I was right back at grandma's crib. Right? That's what he said. So, what he said, essentially what he's saying is the image that you all have seen portrayed by the King of the South, T.I., of this great dad who is at the helm of his family and who's taking care of his children and looking over and watching them and raising them, is false. He's been raised by his grandma. And so, rightfully so, he has some type of resentment towards his father, and not just his father, but his mother as well. His parents as a whole, he has resentment towards them because he feels like y'all abandoned me. Y'all left me with my grandma. Y'all was out doing whatever it is that y'all was doing, out in the streets, out in the clubs, out doing promos, TV shows, media days, whatever it is that y'all was doing, while I was left with my grandma. Okay, we got that part. So we fast forward to today, well, not today exactly, but we fast forward to the now, and he's getting into it with his father at a football game. I'm assuming they were in some type of suite or something like that. I don't know for sure, but just from the looks of it, it looks like they were all in the suite. Some type of way, something went crazy, right? Now, I just want to point this out that before we watch this video, keep in mind that the only reason T.I.'s son, the only reason King Harris is here is because of his parents. More specifically, because of T.I. Otherwise, no one would know who you are. Keep that in mind as we go forward and watch this little clip. Let's check it out.
King, have you ever woke up with a roach on your face?
Period. No, that's not the goal.
All right, then. So, man, go.
Or in your ear.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I had in the neighborhood with me that broke up with roach in your ear. Y'all want to go to the bando and man my neighborhood? Do y'all want to go to the bando? Do y'all want to go to the bando? To make him look better, he said he know not true. Silver spoon, I ain't never ate with that day a day in my life.
Nigga, you did have a silver spoon.
Look, Tip used to have to come to my grandma's house because I'm getting in the
You
fight.
cried like a baby to go to your grandmama's house.
Every day.
You used to hold your breath
Every
and
day.
no tantrums to go over there.
I don't want to be in these gates. I want to be outside in the neighborhood. That's why I want to be over there. But they don't understand
No,
that.
I'm gonna tell you the reason why he want to be over there. Y'all ready? Cause he can suck and pacify over there till he was 12 years old. He was suck and pacify till he was 12 years old. He couldn't do that in the house.
You cried like a baby, hold your breath.
Yeah.
They try to say I was over there trying to suck a passy, but they ain't gonna tell you everything like that. They trying to hide it.
Ain't nobody hiding
Sugarcoat it. He capping. He capping. Hey. He know I stand on business. He know that. Ain't no nigga ever pulled my car ever in life. I stand on business. You drop me somewhere, I stand on business. You drop me in your hood, I stand on
I don't
business.
feel like you stand on business.
Yeah. I've been stood on business. I've been stood on business. You want to hide it for the world, I'm going to put it out there for them to see. I would have put up nowhere. You ain't had me put up nowhere. Like, you ain't had me behind the mansion. I was outside doing what I wanted to do.
You was behind that till you cried.
No, ain't got too much to drink. Done drunk too much. Drunk too much. Let's go. Niggas get mad because we say the South ain't the suburbs. Then he want to talk about some other like this being sick. Just being sick. No, I'm being real. You lying. You lying. You up here flagging. You're capping. You capping. You capping. You capping. You capping. You capping. You capping. I know. I know you. You capping. I know you. I know you. I know you. I know you.
Ain't no mystery about his
I know you though. I know you though.
I
know you though. I know you. What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all doing that to me? Y'all know me. You know I stand on business. You know I stand on business. Why you even letting somebody play with me like that? Why you letting somebody play with me like that? Why you letting him play with me like that? Why you letting him play with me like that? No, ain't no joking. Ain't no joking. What do you mean?
You are embarrassing yourself. You embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself.
Man, what is you talking about? Get off me, like, what the fuck? Man, get off me,
Well, you can't do nothing with me. Ain't shit you can do with me.
So it looked like he was getting hemmed up, right? It looks like he was getting choked up, possibly grabbed up by T.I. And before we get into the video, y'all remember Maury? Before Maury went and got into the before he turned this show into the whole paternity test thing, which is what he turned into, and that's all his show was about in the latter years of his media career, his daytime TV show. Before that, another one of his popular shows was when he would bring on these unruly and misbehaved teens onto his show, and the parents would bring them on because they were largely unruly at home. There was nothing they could do with them. They couldn't control them. These kids were at home doing whatever they wanted to do, talking any kind of way they wanted to talk, doing drugs, having sexual relationships and all this, carrying on, everything like that, right? And y'all remember that they used to bring in these enforcers, right, or these boot camp people to try to get these children and these teens in line as they were on this show so that they could try to somewhat get them back on the rails. And it was all just a shit show. But this is what this reminds me of, because we had the Bad Bobby. I think she came from that show. Well, she's a millionaire now. She joined OnlyFans, and of course she took excuse me, of course she took off because everybody wanted to see her on OnlyFans, right? A lot of creeps everywhere. They've been waiting on this for years. But anyway, back to this situation. In the video, you hear him say, "You know I stand on business. You know I stand on business. I know you, though. I know you. That's cap. That's cap. You know I stand on business. You know I stand on business." The entitlement for me, okay? The entitlement of the children of today is crazy. I want to show y'all something else before I continue. This is a post that he put up right after that altercation with his father, okay? He said, if I'm a mistake, say that. Stop making the world think you fuck with me when you don't. And before that, he goes on to post this. I stand on business. Don't give a F who you are, right? Talking about his pops and his moms. I don't give a F who you are. MFs can't play with me in my face. Not going for that. I'm a grown ass man now. Y'all. King Harris is 19 years old. What are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about? You're not grown. Everything that you have now has been afforded to you and given to you by your parents. What the hell are you talking about? You a grown man. You ain't secured no deals. You wearing money. Money that I put on you. You driving money. Money that I gave you. What are you talking about? Do you think you got all these blogs and all these little TikToks with people coming out talking about, oh, he exposed T.I., he exposed T.I.? Well, no shit. That's not even a surprising secret to know that this dude, that he wasn't taken care of by his parents, that he was raised by his grandma. That's not even a surprise. It's not a surprise. Is it a bad look for T.I.? Yeah, of course. But two wrongs don't make a right. Your parents still provided for you, right? They still put clothes on your back, right? Made sure you was fed, right? Made sure you was taken care of, right? Here, I'll tell you what. How about, since you are so ungrateful, and because since you don't need your parents, because you don't need them or the money, because this is what a lot of y'all are saying. It's not about the money. Oh, the money they gave him. Oh, it ain't about that. Yeah, all of that don't make up for the time that they miss. Granted. Okay, granted. But if it's not about the money, right? If the money doesn't play a factor in it, give it all back. Give it all back and go get a regular 9-to-5 like a regular person. Like a regular Joe on the street. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and get a regular job with no high school diploma. Go ahead, pull right up at Arby's. Go ahead, pull right up at Taco Bell and go put in your app and then work a regular 9-to-5 like everybody else that has your skill set. Since it's not about the money. See, we want to, in this society, right, and in this day and age, we want to take advantage of all the things that have been afforded to us and given to us, right? We want to enjoy all of the amenities and all of the things that come along with that. You want to enjoy the fame, you want to enjoy the wealth, you want to enjoy the cars, you want to enjoy the jewelry, you want to enjoy the media personalities, you want to enjoy meeting different people and famous people and coming into contact with rich millionaires and other rappers and all. You want to enjoy all of that, right? You want to enjoy all of that. But then at the end of the day, you want to turn around and scoff at the very reason and the people that afforded you those things, that afforded you those opportunities, that afforded you a chance to be in the media and public eye. We wouldn't even know who he was without his parents. You wouldn't have even been at the game without your parents. We don't know you. Couldn't be me. And if I was T.I., I would have grabbed him up too. Choked him right out. Right in there. Because who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? You 19 talking about you a grown man and ain't secured no funds, no wealth for yourself. All the wealth that you have has been given to you by me. By way of me and the family and the things that I have done and secured and the deals that I've secured in my career. What are you talking about? The audacity of you. We got to get away from this idea and this belief that we can be friends with our kids. We got to get away from this idea that we can allow our children to raise themselves. We got to get away from this idea that if you just let your children be, that they will somehow come up and be productive citizens to the masses and that they'll respect you. No, you got to instill that within them. But T.I. is another one of y'all heroes. King of the South. You can't even be the king of your own household. You the king of the South, but can't be the king of your own castle? You can't even keep your family in check. You the king where? Nowhere that matters. Talking about you the king of the South and your family is in turmoil and falling apart. You got your son out here calling you out in the streets like you was a nigga from around the corner. What? All because we chasing the wrong things. All because T.I. want to appear as somebody who's a media personality that should be respected and looked at as someone who is taking care of his family and has been a family man and has been raising his family and his kids in a great situation. All of that for you to have your son call you out on the public eye. You talking about he an embarrassment. No, both of y'all are an embarrassment. Y'all both embarrassing as hell. Go sit down somewhere. Wasn't you just in the papers with you and your wife talking about some type of sex scandal? Go sit down somewhere. And then for the kid, if you got that much resentment within you, why are you taking pictures and you doing photo ops with your dad everywhere you can, every chance you get? Smiling, showing them donkey teeth. Just smiling back. You wasn't saying nothing doing the media photo ops. You wasn't saying nothing then. You wasn't saying that when you was getting calls and opportunities to appear here and go there and perform here or do whatever you want here. You wasn't saying nothing then. You ain't had no problems then. You didn't turn down none of that. But now you want to tell some truth. It amazes me that we always get to a point where you've been given everything, right? But then one or two things cannot go your way, and all of a sudden you ready to flip on everybody. You ready to turn this motherfucker up. Somebody said, this is why King Harris doesn't respect his parents. Kids, when they aren't raised by their parents, feel like the parents can't tell me shit because when I needed you, you were not there. And yes, the money and life he was afforded to live did not make up for the time they were not there. What does that got to do? Hold on. What does one thing have to do with the other? What does one thing have to... He says, and yes, the money and life he was afforded to live did not make up for the time they were not there. Kids will respect the constant parental figure, not the ones that are in and out. So you can't respect me, even though I provided for you and given you everything that you have today. You may not have liked the situation that I brought you up in. You may not have liked the way that I decided to bring you along and raise you. Okay. You don't have to like that. You don't have to like it. But then you're going to turn around and scoff at the position that I put you in? What? You don't get to do that. You don't get to do that. Here, let's go ahead and listen.
What do you feel like they got on you that they shouldn't have on you? Because I feel like with them probably seeing you grow up, they just got like, you can't be you.
Yeah, man, it's a lot about that TV show, man, that got people confused. Because I live with my grandma. You know, we'll go to the house on like a weekend. They'll say, hey, we shooting today. We need y'all at the house. They'll come get me from my grandma's house. And right after we done, when the cameras go off, I'm right back to my grandma's house. Yep.
What do you feel like?
So I heard him say it. And it's funny, it's ironic to me that the show was called T.I. and Tiny, The Family Hustle, because the whole thing was a hustle. For the cameras. When y'all gonna learn that? Y'all following behind these people and make them and turn them into your heroes and somebody to look up to and somebody to be admired. Because you think you watching their life on TV. On a camera from a position that they control. You viewing everything from a look and advantage point that they control. How crazy is that? But that's y'all king of the South. Can't even be the king of his own home. Let's read some of the comments. I love reading the comments. Somebody said King was a handful, but TV don't show you what's really going on. Somebody else said spoiled, privileged kids always act like this. Then that's facts. Somebody else said saw them look back at the PR rep saying, shh, yeah, PR don't want you to say nothing about that. You're going too far. Somebody else said, dang, not absent parents. They weren't absent. They weren't absent. Were they in and out? Sure, maybe. But they provided for your little ass. Somebody else said he spoiled and wanted to do what he wanted. That's why he wanted to live with his grandma, because he likes to rebel. If you watch the show, this was revealed. Let's be real. See, I never watched the show for real. I maybe saw maybe a couple snippets here and there, but I never really watched the show because I was never interested. That was just never my steez. I didn't care what was going on with T.I. and his family. Honestly. But according to this person, she watched the show, and even on the show you could tell that he liked to rebel. He liked to talk back. So you've been a problem child your whole life. And you want to blame it on your parents. But you don't blame all the thing is, you want to blame all of that on them, but you don't want to show them the respect that they deserve for putting you in all the positions and affording you all the things that you have now. You want to take and accept, but you don't want to give. Ain't that crazy? Somebody said, I hate hearing poor excuses. He wants a cookie just because you were raised by your grandma. You know how many kids were raised by their grandma? The money they provided for the grandma was for them. No excuse for this bad behavior. Both of his parents were working. That's facts. Somebody else said, this is a child. Let's not forget that. I don't think it's appropriate to interview him. King is going through that rebellious adolescent stage, and having celebrity parents makes him more vulnerable. Leave him alone and let him grow into himself. He don't need this attention. I disagree. I disagree wholeheartedly. I was 18, 19 before. I didn't have a rebellious phase. I respected my mother every single day that I woke up and rose. I respected my mother always. And even though my father was not a figure that was always around, I respected him as well. Because that's just how I was raised. So what you're saying is a result of poor parenting. Because let's be clear, I'm not making excuses for T.I. and Tiny. They're poor parents. Y'all did a poor job raising this kid. It's obvious. It's all over the place. It's all over his actions. It's all in the way he acts in response to questions and media. And how he responds to y'all. It's very, very evident that y'all raised him poorly. I wasn't raised like that. I never rebelled against. I didn't have a rebellious phase. Always had respect, because that's how I was raised. We want to blame everything on yeah, it's just a phase he going through. We gotta accept that. No, hell no. I wish one of my kids would present me with a rebellious phase. Not happening. I'll choke you out. And call the police for you. Yeah, I choked him out. Come get him. You want to go live with somewhere else? Go live somewhere else. But you're not about to. You ain't no way in hell you about to talk to me crazy. Ain't no way in hell you about to disrespect me, and I've given you everything that you have. Everything that you have. You're spoiled. These kids are spoiled. Celebrity children. Spoiled. And here we are making excuses for them. Find better heroes.
Yeah.